Good morning, guys. It's been a while since I've been on. Sorry about that. I was sick for like a week and totally lost my voice. But I'm back now. We had a request to make a video on Angular 4, so we're going to dive into that today. And to do that, I think we're going to use, there's a free Zillow API that lets you see the first 10 reviews for any real estate agent. So I think we're going to use that as a backend. So that we can build something up real quick today of substance. So let's take a look. So here we have the Angular docs, and I think we'll just and Angular.io. By the way, the docs have moved to Angular 4, I believe now. There's this big get it started button right here, and I think that's what we're going to hit because that's what we want to do. Let's see. So it's got a command line interface reading the docs that we can use to launch an app, I think. Set up the development environment. Yeah, it's that simple. Alright, so we're going to follow the instructions here by installing the Angular command line interface. npm install Angular/command line interface. And while that's going, so it looks like to create a new app, we just run this ng new my app, serving it as simple as doing ng serve open. And I think that's going to get us live reload. So it should be really easy. So Angular, we've done some tutorials on React. Angular is a little different in their ideology, I think. I'm not familiar at all with Angular, with the new versions of Angular 2 and 4, but I think we'll be able to figure it out, guys. Yeah, so they've got components. Looks like you do the styles for each component independently, so the component has like its own style sheet. That's at least what they recommend. Project file overview. Components are all going to go in the source app directory. Assets, or I don't know what was that? Get keep. I don't think we need to worry about that. Okay, so what do we need? We needed ng. Is it new? Is new the keyword? Yeah, ng new, and we're gonna call this Zillow agents or whatever. Or you know what? We'll call it agent finder. Now we want to go into sites. ng new agent finder will be the name of the project, and it's going to go and download all the dependencies for Angular. So to get the Zillow API, I've already done this, but you need to go to Zillow. Just search Zillow API. You're gonna see this reviews API in here somewhere, so you could search Zillow reviews API, I guess. Read the docs and the terms of use and all that, and if you agree to them, head over to sign up for a ZW SID, and this is going to be your API key to get you into the reviews API and all these other APIs, but for us we're just going to use the reviews API. It's going to let us see the most recent 10 reviews for any Zillow agent, I believe, and we just need to basically we're gonna go find an agent. And so we've got this guy right here. And we should be able to, with his, this is like his ID on Zillow, his agent ID or whatever. You should be able to use this to list his most recent 10 reviews. Yeah. Okay, how are we doing here? All right. So I think what was the command to get this started? npm serve open, or no, sorry, ng serve open. So start our new Angular app. Uh-oh, run npm install. Looks like no such file or oh, you know what? We need to go into our project. Duh. And in theory, this is going to, yeah, there we go. Look at that, 4,200. And it's opening up our new Angular app. Cool, that was easy. Just like React Create App. Only with Angular. Let's see, so it's pretty bare bones right now. It doesn't look like the style sheets are being served, which is not cool. Sheets. So I'm gonna just search and see why that's happening. Angular 4 style sheets not loading. Let's open up the source code and see what's going on. So I'm going to open up the source code with a program called WebStorm by JetBrains, the same company that makes IntelliJ. It is my favorite IDE for front-end code. And it's trying to open up something. It's trying to open up our last project. Let's see, React. We need to open the new one. Agent Finder. Okay. And while that indexes everything, let's take a look at the structure here. So our styles are here. Oh. Looks like we don't have any styles by default, maybe. So that could explain why we're not seeing anything. Let's see if we just set like a background color to blue, is that gonna, no, doesn't look like it is going to do anything. Let's see, so our app component, so right here, it says styles coming from app.component.css. The component is here, text align center. Let's use background color. Hey, okay, cool. So our style sheets are working. There's just nothing there by default. That's cool. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, I guess, is let's start pulling from our Zillow API. So I want to take a look. Let's head to the Zillow Reviews API documentation. And just need to figure out how to query this thing. Is this an example link right here? Yeah. Cool. So then we also need to figure out in Angular, how do we query React has like some helper methods to query APIs, so we need to figure out how you do that with Angular. And it looks like if we go to fundamentals here on the left, there's a section called HTTP client, which will probably tell us exactly what we want to know. So let's see, we need to install the module. It's only necessary once. Okay. So we go to our application module, and I think it looks like this line we need. So we're going to import it, import the ES6 module, and then add it to this array of imports here. So let's head over to app module. Here it is, we're importing our HTTP client module, and we know in our imports array we need to throw that there. So now we have it installed. For example, suppose you have an API endpoint that lists items. This is exactly the scenario that we have. It looks like we need to make sure the constructor of the component that we're creating has this HTTP client injected into it. So let's create a new component, and we're going to follow the same. Oops, I closed it on accident. We're going to follow the same naming scheme that they've used here. So they do app.component.html. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what we should name. I want to figure out what we should name our component. So you would call it, each word separate. The component file name should be spelled in lower dash case, each word separated by dashes, and end in component.ts. Alright, so we can call this we'll just call it agent reviews .component.ts, and we're going to copy this syntax hero detail. So it looks like that's, I think this is how Angular knows where to inject your component after you've created it. That is this this selector. Yeah, see how it's got this app root here. So we can go, let's see, hero detail template, add the hero property. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, they've extended the HTML again with their new Angular. It's a weird choice. So they want you to use this directive, if they still call it directives, to create a hero detail by binding its selected hero. Okay. Cool. Let's just, I don't know, we need to figure out how we do this. How do I get an example? Yeah, whatever. We're just gonna brute force this, guys. We'll have to figure out what's going on. So in our agent reviews component.ts, we're going to go and copy this component here, the initial component, TypeScript code, throw that in there, and alright, let's see. So if we look at our index.html, we can see that there's this app root directive. So I think in our app component, we're going to add a new directive, and we're going to call it agent reviews. And that is going to be the name of our selector for our agent reviews component. And then we'll call it agent reviews.component.html, agent reviews.component.css, and we'll create those files. Agent reviews, alright. And then the agent reviews component, I just want to put some content here to see that this works at all. Let's go and check out, let's see what's happening here. It looks like we need to add our component to the module and see how this is done here. We've got declarations. See what happens if we add agent reviews component to agent reviews. Now export a member called agent reviews. So we need to go in here and rename this guy, not that one. This guy to agent reviews component. I think that we're doing this right. I'm not sure if there's a different way to declare like child components, but we can figure that out later. It's not a big deal. Yeah, so this is called agent reviews component, and we're going to add that right there, and hopefully things load now. No. No, export a member. Sure it does. It's right there. Source app. Let's see what happens if we restart our server. Hey, yeah, that worked. Okay, I don't know. Somehow we broke the Angular server thingy. So we just had to restart that, turn it off and turn it on again. Okay, so we have an agent reviews component now. Let's go ahead and mock out what this list might look like. So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be an ordered list semantically. Yeah, I think you can have divs inside of list items, right? Now, let's go take a look at Angular and see if they give us a list component or something. Or can we add material UI? There we go. Yeah, I think it's going to be easy to add material maybe. Get started. We're going to install some things. I'm going to install this one too. Sure, can do that, right? Phew, this is a lot of work for the first episode. Never mind, guys. We're going to skip adding material. We'll add that in a bit. But we are going to get rid of this blue background. We're going to make our app components simpler. Interesting. That's how you. So this is how you inject props or whatever you call them in Angular. That's how you interpolate props. You inject them just like that. That's how you pass things. Cool. Okay. So agent reviews. We'll just do a list of divs. And we need to figure out how we do a repeat. Let's see. This is how you do it right here, maybe. Yeah. Let's try this and see how this suits us. So we're going to go to our component. I think the syntax is like this. So we've got our users here, and then let's just add this list just to see if this is doing repeats correctly. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Not going to be all that surprised if that doesn't work, because we're kind of guessing. Unexpected closing tag div. Oh. It's probably important. Yeah, we're going to go to our Angular docs and just figure out template, component interaction. Template syntax. NG4. Here we go. Maybe this is looks pretty close. User of users. Why is it not allowed here? Okay, I think it just doesn't have Angular 4 support or IDE. Okay, there we go. Cool. So we're seeing our loops are working here. It's not what we want yet, but that's cool. So now let's use that HTTP component that we installed. second ago. I think we've already done that. Okay, so we need to add this. Yeah, this is where we were. Add this HTTP client to the constructor of our agent reviews component. And how do we do that exactly? Sort of class. Guess we just add like that. And we're going to need to import something maybe. Implements on init. Do we import this or something? Maybe. So I'm importing these things. Looks like we need this ng on init method here. And a nice feature of IDEs like WebStorm is, I mean, I can see this red underline here means that something's wrong. I can hover over it. Tells me that we're not implementing the interface on init properly. And I can hit, once I'm selecting that word, I can hit Alt, Enter, and implement all the members, and it just automatically does everything for me. If this was a complicated interface and it had like 10 members or something, it would add 10 different functions or whatever for me to implement, and that would be pretty helpful. So yeah, it says, so this is kind of like our component will mount or whatever. This is a lifecycle method of the component, it looks like. We can copy this HTTP get code, and let's go over to the Zillow API docs and copy this. Okay, and we're gonna go throw a our public API key in here. Just gotta grab that. No, I saw it. There it is. Okay, cool. So you have to input your Zillow API key, and then we're going to get the screen name of this agent, just like that. And in theory, it looks like we need to maybe, yeah, so let's call this reviews, and let's default the value to an empty array, and then we'll set reviews to data results here. But I'm going to throw a debugging code in here because we're not entirely sure what this payload looks like yet. So let's just see that. Let's load up our browser and see if we see this API request being made and getting a response back, and that would be good enough. Let's see. So yeah, status okay. Let's see. I need to see what's going on here. Whoa. Is that because it's returning? Okay, it's returning XML, which is not what we want. We want JSON, and it looks like we can set this parameter. So I'm in the review APIs, the reviews API docs, and it looks like we can set this JSON output format. So let's do that, and output equals JSON. See if that's better. Hey, look at that. So data now. Request successfully processed. So we should be able. So data.results. Data.message.results. What is it? No, it's not data.message. Data.results. Data.response.results contains all the information on our agent and the reviews. Nice. Pro info. Doesn't have the 10 reviews like we thought it would have. I think, oh yeah, okay, look, so it says the default count of reviews that it's going to give us is 3, so we need to just tell it that we want the maximum count, 10. Okay. And yeah, so our results look like this, and now we're getting 10 of them, .pro reviews. Wow, takes a lot of effort to get down to that array there. But here it is. This is our array of reviews. It's at this location off the data object. We're not going to bother with error handling for now. Let's see if this works. Not 100% on this. Uh-oh. Gotta have semicolons with TypeScript, maybe not. So this .reviews, it's undefined. It's weird. So why didn't that work? Should have. Let's just see. Let's go into our component here, and we're going to, let's just print out the review text here. Oh look, definitely setting our reviews there. We just saw 10 components come up. I'm gonna just, did it already log things? No, it didn't. I'm gonna get rid of this debugging code. And I'm just gonna log this .reviews, and I'm going to console log this .reviews, the first review, so we can see what the format of each review is like, and then we'll template that out. Okay, let's see. So our review looks like this. Description. Description looks like, oh no, wait. Yeah, this is the description here. This is the review text. The reviewer name is called reviewer. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and update our template here. We're going to open up the agent reviews template. So let's expand on this a bit. So we'll call this area the review. So this review.description, and then underneath we're going to throw in the reviewer. the reviewer, I believe, is there. And let's just see how this looks. Let's see if we got anything. Hey, look at that. Our reviews are showing up. That's good. Agent reviews. My goal for this summer was to become a first-time homeowner. I had heard many stories about how buying a house was a long and stressful process, and to be honest, I was not looking forward to it. Nice. So that's looking good. Let's go ahead. We don't need this big angular. Well, yeah, the angular sounds kind of cool. We'll leave that. What else might we need? Maybe we should find a way to take user input. Like, so we give it an agent name, and then that prints out everything conditionally based on that. Let's see, review URL link. Let's throw the description. No, we already have that. The review summary on there as well. Oops, what am I doing here? And these BRs are just too big, so I'm gonna get rid of those. The line breaks too big. Yeah, there we go. I think we need to add a little bit of styling to this too. We definitely want to add. We want to add some margin bottom to separate those reviews out. We could. Did I get that class name? Class review, yeah. No, it did pick up our margin. It's just not noticeably bigger. I'll just throw a bigger margin of like 50 pixels. Yeah, there we go. Give this some kind of we'll make this H2 so that it stands out. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Now you can kind of tell that these are H reviews. What if we threw a border left, padding left 5 pixels. Yeah, that looks good. 5. There we go. Now you can kind of see where the reviews are. The other thing we could do is, what if we just made that border? And now that we have that border, I think we can definitely take. Yeah, that looks good. So now all of our reviews look kind of separated out. Looks a lot nicer. I think that's going to be good enough for the purposes of this tutorial. Okay. Yeah, this looks good. I saw a new font that I really liked, and it's called Railway Font. Let's see, yeah. So we're gonna install that. I think I saw this on like some website that I was using, and it's pretty freaking cool. So we're going to go ahead and give that a shot. And then all we have to do is go into our app component. Let's see. We're going to call this app. We're going to copy our agent reviews into our app. Also, text align center is not going to do. And set that as our font there. Yeah, look at how snazzy that looks. That's a cool font. Yeah, okay, but this wouldn't be very useful if we didn't have any user input. So let's add an input box so that we can input the user's name. And then we'll have something pretty interesting working, at least kind of useful. User input, that's what we need. Okay, so it looks like it uses the event object, which is cool. Input key up. Okay. Well, yeah, let's see what happens. We're going to throw this in here. And so this is going to be in our template, and you can see that our component needs to implement this on key. So let's go to our template. We're going to add an input here, and we're going to give it a label called agent username, or screen name, I think it was called. Screen name. Yeah. And we then want to copy this function on key, and that's going to take an event. This dot, okay, so on this event we're going to do this exact same thing we've done here. So I think we can query API for agent. We're going to create a function, and that's going to be agent screen name. It's going to be a string. I think I'm doing that right, maybe. I'm not really familiar with TypeScript. Never actually used it, but seems to be pretty self-explanatory. So this is going to query agent. So that let's see. That's going to be our initial agent screen name. And let's see. We would have to bind this here. I don't know if it doesn't work in TypeScript. How about that? How about we make that a promise, and that's going to return the views, and then we set this to our views equals views. This is not. Oh yeah. So we're going to return that maybe. So this is going to return a promise now, I think, and all we need to do we're going to call that a constant now, and so we're going to return this reviews out of this this method here and just set it right there. And the on key is going to do the same. No, the on key is going to set a search string property. So our search agent screen name search screen name. There's definitely two N's in screen name, isn't there? We already have that too. Cool. So that's going to be equal to that right there. And then I think even better, we can do query this dot agent screen name search let's just see. Let's log out this event.target.value, and that's going to show us what is going on. That's going to show us if our listening to that input's going to work or not. So declarations are not valid here. We've used a component. What did we do? Need more information than that. Try and restart it and see if that fixes things. Nope. Damn it. What does that mean? Decoration. Is it because of this? Oh, fuck. Excuse my language. Yeah, I don't think we can have that there. Whoops. Let's try and... Yeah. I think different to React, I don't think we can define functions outside of our component class, maybe. And that's enforced by the Angular compiler, apparently. Yeah, that's what's going on. So we got to make that, this query API for agent, we need to make that a method of this class. And that's going to return an array? Can we do that? I don't know. There we go. Okay. And then this query API for agent. Let's see. So this, it's saying that this returns a subscription. No, it should return an observable. Interesting. That's cool. Use observables in Angular. Right. Let's see. How do we use this? So that should return. Alright, so let's create So I'm wondering how we define this search item. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we call that agent review, and if we set, let's say, TypeScript class So that's going to be review text, reviewer, and then review, what do we use here? Summary. Review description, review summary. Description and review. And we're going to just pass it a review object. And this dot review description equals that. It's going to be an object. Review description. Is that right? So it's called description, and this one's called review summary. Cool. So we're going to, I guess, then. Oh, it's because we subscribed here, and we don't want to subscribe, we want to map. And we want to map that to dot map, and that's going to be agent review, maybe new agent review if you need the new keyword. Yeah, X. Maybe that works. I don't know. Maybe. And then we want to make sure that let's see what these are. Yeah. I want to know what type this is. We don't know. All right. That might work, maybe. I don't know. Something tells me that this is actually like I don't know how exactly you do arrays. We'll find out. And then this reviews, we need that to be an array of agent reviews. So here, our reviews is going to be hopefully an array of agent review. And then, yeah, let's see how far off we are at this point. What's it complaining about? I don't know what you call them. Or, you know, we could have this just be an array of objects and not map it. Yeah, we'll see, we'll see. How are we looking here? Yeah, I don't think we can declare that in the same file as our component. In the same way that it was complaining about decorators or whatever. Okay, yeah, there we go. Get something. The map is not a function. Returns an observable. And observable, does it really not have a map? Angular for observables. So you call the get, and then you should be able to map on it, I think. Yeah. I would think so. Let's see. So our observable should be right there. Must return a value, right? It does, yeah. But I want to see what this object is, and I want to see what kind of methods we can call off of it. Map is not a function. Okay, so our observable, it's an observable, and let's look in the most recent month for some information on what to do. As observable, maybe? Is there an as observable? I don't know. I don't have time to figure out how the observables work for this tutorial, so we're going to just we're going to do this. And this can be void. And we don't need to return that, so we need to return. Yeah, we'll have to look into that sometime, the observable stuff, because I'm not sure. I didn't realize Angular used observables. Cannot read property results of undefined. Data response. What's that all about? It's because our screen name's not valid. We need to add our screen name back here. Oops. Right. There we go. Now we see something. I don't know why it doesn't seem to be. Yeah, we need to set our reviews there. And then we should see some reviews, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Our reviews are back, and it looks like our typing is working. So we just need to. Let's see. I think on a button press, we search again. Nah, we can just do it. Let's see. Let's make sure that we can paste in here. So if I could go in here and just copy, yeah, stressful words. Okay. So every time this changes, we're just going to do this. We're going to query for API agent event.target.value. Okay. And let's go get another agent. So let's go to this guy's profile here. It doesn't. Let's see. For some reason this guy's doesn't work. This one did. Look, Marshall worked. Cool. I think we need a URL encode. Did that already do that for us? Yeah, it did. That's cool. So yeah, so we can now search for agents. Let's just, I want to make this a little nicer looking. I want to add like the agent's picture here. I think we can probably get that, maybe. Yeah, so we've got the name and a photo right there, name and photo. So what we'll do, agent, we don't need this, oops, title here, agent name equals agent photo. And that's going to come from response.results.proinfo.photo. And agent name, let's see, screen name, name. What else do we have here? We're going to replace this image here. So we're going to go to our component. Oh, no, we don't. We don't have our image in that component, so we're just going to I don't know if that's going to work. Yay, it did work. And agent name's not showing up here. Maybe that's a reserved keyword name. Well, it says its name right there. Maybe. Oh. Duh, guys. This tutorial's getting a little long in length, so we're going to get to wrapping it up here shortly. Just want to make this look nice real quick. Yeah, so let's change. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of this image now that we understand that this is Angular. The title of this app is Agent Finder, Agent Review Finder. Yep, that looks pretty good. I think this bit, we go into our reviews component, and I want to center this, so we're going to call it agent info. And it goes there too. So now I'm going to add this style text align center. How's that look? Cool. I think we're just about good. Let's see. Let's take one last look at this. Actually, it looks better on smaller screens. But we should be able to, let's see, that needs more spacing, but whatever. Go into our, well, basically we have to find an agent first. And we should be able to just grab this agent's user. The screen name is in this in the URL here in Zillow. If you look at an agent's profile, it's profile / and then this is the screen name. And if we come in here, there it is, and we can see reviews on Chad. Chad and his team hit the mark. Cool. So what did that take us? That took us about an hour. In an hour, we got a pretty simple Angular app running, one that takes user input and displays reviews, templated out based on that user input. We can do a lot more with this, obviously, and we will. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna do a quick wrap up here. If you guys liked what you saw, please tell me in the comments so that I can keep on doing that. If you have some suggestions, some feedback, even if it's criticism, please go ahead and leave that too, or you can DM me as well. Subscribe below. I want to keep making these videos. I like doing it. I'm gonna keep making the videos no matter what, but subscriptions kind of give me a little dopamine boost every time I log in, and that's kind of cool too. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching. I hope this was useful. Share it with your friends, and have a great day, guys. Bye.